Moscow has been on a permanent terror alert after a deadly hostage siege in a theater 2 years ago. The Russian news agency TASS reports anti-terrorism agents have prevented more than 500 terror attacks so far this year. Federal Security Service officials say more than 80 suicide bombers have been trained abroad to carry out terror acts in Russia. RBC TV takes a look at some of the measures to foil terror attacks in Moscow.
It might be Orwellian and smack of Big Brother, but all-seeing electronic eyes are keeping watch over swatches of Moscow these troubled days. They'll be blinking citywide in due course, in a scheme already gutting close to a third of apartment blocks here. Russian folk awoke to terror 5 years ago when explosions ripped through 2 housing complexes. Since then, worried residents have either installed concierges in the bid to keep death from the doors, or taken willingly to warden work themselves at entry points.
The Big Brother is looking at you. Today, Muscovites can feel what it looks like to be monitored 24 hours a day. So far, no one has complained about interfering into one's private life. Instead, people ask local authorities to set up such cameras in their houses.
In centers like these, the screens are monitored night and day. 24 operators, all women, on 8-hour revolving shifts. Some say it's like watching TV serials at home, as catching as absorbing, but with deadly serious intent.
The work needs attention. Eyes get tired, but we try not to leave our posts, not for a minute. Anything can happen.
If a camera catches movement, the monitor frame goes red. Unusual behavior and abandoned bag, all these will arouse an operator's attention. Watchers sensing suspect behavior trigger the alert for a duty desk official to judge if a patrol squad takes to the scene.
Signals I receive from the video monitors are fed out to my groups, a mobile patrol for example. If there's a word of an explosion or terrorist attack, I'll send a rescue team.
Alongside cameras at house entrances, emergency buttons can be linked to local police stations. Hello, how can we help? I've seen an odd-looking bag near my house. I don't know what to do.
What's the address? Okay, an emergency group is on its way.
A while back, the new video monitoring uncovered a local drug den. In recent months, apartment burglaries were down by half. The scheme is getting results.
We have had many signals of people robbed right at their house doors. A villain spotting a camera would hardly dare enter a building, rob someone or use violence. He would realize the lens had him covered.
It's pure chance this monitoring station stands just meters from the theater, where terrorists took more than 700 hostages 2 years ago. If surveillance cameras had been set up before, that tragedy might have been avoided. Alisa Romano, Sergei Malafeev, Moscow, RBC TV for CNN World Report.